Hey, digital family. Thank you again for watching another episode of Economics, where I focus on your mission, your mindset, your money. And I also tell you about the importance of those things being congruent and have there being congruency between your mind, your mission, and your money. And that, I believe, is the trinity of success. And with those things, you can get to another level. So today I want to talk to you about something that's been near and dear to my heart. And it's something I call the power of sight. And I shot a video talking about this maybe about 2 months ago, or maybe about a month and a half ago. And actually 2 months ago. And the video didn't work out too well. I shot it in the Sugarloaf Mountains. I shot a bunch of videos out there. A lot of them are garbage. They didn't work out too well. And so I was a little bummed about it. But now that I'm in a place of solitude, I want to revisit the topic because it's really important. So I call it the power of sight. And easily put, there are people are in a variety of stages in the power of sight. The power of sight includes this. It includes hindsight, right? Insight, and then foresight. And that's the power of, basically to me, that's what I consider the power of sight. So let's talk about hindsight first. So with hindsight, it's relatively simple. There are a lot of people, probably you may be one of them, a lot of people, and you may know people like this, who always thinking about the past. Their problems are in the past. Even though they're in the present, they're talking about past problems, past relationships, past people, past experiences at work. This person did this to me. I'm being held back. They're holding me down. There's the government, the Republicans, the Democrats, whatever. All people talking about things that, if you think about it, really won't really affect them much. But their mindset is in a place of hindsight, or they live in a place of regret. And they're thinking, I wish I could have done this. I shoulda, coulda, woulda. I had a chance to do this. I should have started that company. Now the guy I was going to start it with, he's gone on, he's made millions, or now he's happy in a happy place and he's successful. While I'm still at a job, pushing paper and punching a clock. I hate it, right? Things like that. Well, there's a reason why that person's stuck in that place, because their mind has not thought about the present and the future. The second one, after hindsight, the second one is insight. Now, people who are in the place of insight understand about the importance of hindsight, right? But they're learning from that past. They're learning from the mistakes. Maybe they have a little bit of regret, because regret's very dangerous. They have a little bit of regret about some things that have happened in their lives, and occasionally they go back to that place, even though it's not a good place. They go back to that place occasionally, but they have yet to resolve certain things. They can be reflexive, and they reflect on the bad, on what happened in the bad in the hindsight phase, but they're still they're drawing insight. So it's an increase of awareness, a higher level of an increased level of consciousness, a higher level of consciousness from people who are in hindsight place. The last is foresight. Now, foresight's really important. There's a small group of people who are really in foresight. A lot of people who are successful. I don't mean just monetarily, right? Because when you talk about people being successful monetarily, the first thing you hear from people is that person's probably not happy, because they equate money and happiness for no apparent reason. Because no one's ever said money made you happy. This is a nonsensical idiom that's been brought up by people who are poor, or people who are lazy, or people who don't want more for themselves, and so they create these ridiculous idioms to describe people who are go-getters and who want more for themselves. So going back to foresight. Foresight's very simple. Foresight is people who have qualities of insight. They can look back and say, okay, these are the mistakes I've made, and I'm learning from that. And then they also realize that I need to think ahead. I need to think about what's going on in the future. How can my actions today affect and set the table for what I'm going to experience in the future? So here's an example for me, and I'll tell you two examples of this. Well, the first example is when I was really young. I was about 16, 17 years old. My mom always used to tell me, don't pray for money. Just pray for, you should pray for wisdom and guidance and guardians from God. And be like King David, and always pray to be guided. And for me, that was important. I didn't really understand it. I thought, oh, ask God for money. But then I realized as I got older, through my prayers of all this, it's one of two things. The first thing I realized is, if you're not wise, if you don't seek wisdom, it doesn't matter if you're given riches. You will never keep it. The people who win the lottery, you end up going broke a year or so later. But the problem that people make, mainstream media, you, everyone else who falls into that, who falls victim to this, they believe that the money's what made them lose or what made them miserable. But it wasn't that. Their minds weren't in the right place. Their mindset was crap. So it doesn't matter if you start a business. If you start a business and your mind's not in the right place, it's not going to work. If you don't have the foresight, it doesn't matter. If you win the lottery and the Mega Millions and you're making horrible decisions, it doesn't matter. You're going to go broke anyways, and your life will just, all the problems you have will just expand. You'll just get bigger, right? Now you have money to fund all the dumb ideas and all the stupidity, right? So people who are in a place of foresight, they realize that what's going on today in the present, they understand what's going on today in the present affects their future. They also realize that regret is like it's an evil. The idea of regret is an evil anchor that's tied around your neck, like cement shoes, swimming in the river in cement shoes. It always keeps you down. You may bob like a cork for a while, but it will always bring you down, no matter what you do. So you got to shed the regret. Now, the other thing I told you I was going to give you two examples. The first one is I prayed. My mom told me to pray, and ever since then, I remember feeling the sense of wisdom that I acquired back when I was 19 years old. So everything I thought about, everything I wanted to do in my life, I had the foresight. I thought about it ahead of time. So the second thing is this. Talking about the thing that I was going to share with you. The second story I have is, I have many stories, which is actually going into my second book. But the first part I want to share with you is this. I had a vision to go play to play college basketball, and that's what I always wanted since I was like in ninth grade. And I also realized there's two things I want. I want to become a citizen in the U.S. I want to live in America, and I want to go to college in America. So the quick thing, what I did was, in using the power of foresight, and after praying and figuring out what I was supposed to do,
take exit 111 for Pennsylvania 153.
Yes. So that's my GPS. You can hear it in the background. It's right next to me. Okay, so basically this is basically what happened. I went through and got a book from the library. This is back in pre-internet days, 1993. Got a book from the library. I had all universities in the U.S. and colleges. I wrote letters. I wrote letters and letters. And I wrote a bunch of letters. And I didn't have any money, but I was working. I had somebody who helped me who paid the postage for them. I sent about 200 letters to different schools. I did the amount of action I did was ridiculous. But I had the vision of me wearing a jersey from a university college in the U.S. That was my vision when I was 15, 16 years old. Before I even had the ability for something like that to happen. Before I was even ready, right? So the power of foresight is thinking about what's happening in your past from a hindsight, learning from that hindsight, thinking and reflecting from it will put you in the mindsight. Then eventually your foresight is thinking ahead, thinking, what do I need to do today in order to get to where I want to go tomorrow? So I'll leave you with this. And this is something I learned from James Altucher, from his book, The Power.
In a half mile, take exit 111 for Pennsylvania 153.
Okay? The past is a photograph. The future is a fantasy. All you have is today, the present, to love, to touch, to laugh, to do things in order to get to that next point. That is all you have, is today. Doesn't matter what you think.
Take exit 111.
Just today. You will never be in tomorrow. Because when tomorrow comes, it'll be today. Once the past is gone, it's gone.
In a quarter mile.
Stuff.
Keep right at the fork. Follow signs for Pennsylvania 153.
You have to learn from those mistakes. You have to learn from the things the mistakes you've made. And you also have to think, what can I do today in order to increase the likelihood of me being successful, right? I implore you. I believe in you. Your dreams matter. You matter. And that's what I'm trying to do today with these videos. That's what I'm trying to do with economics. So chances aren't given. Chances are taken. So be bold and go get it.
Keep right at the fork.